Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast. And hello, Priya. How has your day been going so far?
Hi, Ryan. My day has been quite good, thank you. I spent some time organizing my workspace this morning. How about yours?
That sounds productive. I had a relaxing morning with some coffee and reading. It was a nice way to start the day.
That does sound nice. A calm morning always sets a good tone for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Now, before we dive in, I want to ask our listeners something. Where are you watching or listening from right now? We always love to know where in the world you are joining us today.
Yes, please share with us. We enjoy hearing from all of you.
And I also want to ask, is this podcast helping you improve your English? Are you finding it useful for your personal growth and learning? Please let us know in the comments below. Your feedback truly matters to us.
We read your comments and they help us create better episodes for you, so please do share your thoughts.
Today, we are discussing how to make better decisions without second-guessing. If you often feel confused after making choices or keep doubting yourself, this episode will give you clear and practical guidance. We will talk about why second-guessing happens and how to build confidence in your decisions.
This is a topic that affects everyone, whether it is about career choices, relationships, or daily tasks. Learning to decide with confidence changes your life in meaningful ways.
So let me start with a question, Priya. Why do so many people struggle with second-guessing their decisions? What causes this pattern?
That is an excellent question, Ryan. I think the main reason is fear. People are afraid of making the wrong choice and facing negative consequences. This fear makes them doubt themselves, even after they have already decided.
So it is not really about lacking information or intelligence. It's more about the emotional fear of being wrong.
Exactly. Many people have enough information to make good decisions, but their emotions create doubt. They start imagining all the things that could go wrong, and this mental pattern becomes exhausting.
That makes sense. And I think another problem is that we live in a world with too many options. When you have so many choices, it becomes harder to feel confident about any single one.
Yes, that is called decision fatigue. When you have too many options, your brain gets overwhelmed. You start comparing endlessly, and this makes decision-making feel impossible.
And even after you choose, you keep thinking about the options you did not pick. You wonder if those other choices would have been better.
Exactly. This is why people often feel regret or uncertainty, even when they made a perfectly reasonable decision. Their mind keeps replaying alternative scenarios.
So the core problem is a combination of fear, too many options, and the habit of overthinking. These things together create the pattern of second-guessing.
Yes, and this pattern can become automatic. People start doubting themselves even with small, unimportant decisions. It becomes a mental habit that drains energy and confidence.
That sounds really exhausting. So how can someone break this cycle and start making decisions with more confidence?
The first step is to understand that no decision is ever perfect. Every choice has some risk and some uncertainty. Accepting this reality actually makes decision-making easier because you stop searching for impossible perfection.
So instead of trying to make the perfect choice, you aim to make a good enough choice based on the information you have right now.
Exactly. This mindset shift is powerful. When you accept that uncertainty is normal, you stop being paralyzed by fear. You move forward even when things are not completely clear.
That is a great starting point. Now, let us talk about practical strategies. What is the first strategy people can use to make better decisions without second-guessing?
The first strategy is to set clear decision criteria before you choose. This means deciding in advance what factors are most important to you. When you know what you value, the choice becomes much clearer.
Can you give an example of how someone would use decision criteria?
Sure. Let's say you are choosing between two job offers. Before comparing the jobs, write down what matters most to you. Is it salary, work-life balance, career growth, or company culture?
So you create a kind of checklist or priority list before you start evaluating the options.
Exactly. Then you look at each job and see how well it matches your criteria. This makes the decision more objective and less emotional.
That removes a lot of the confusion. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by all the details, you focus only on what truly matters to you.
Yes, and it also reduces second-guessing later. When you know you chose based on your values and priorities, you feel more confident about the decision.
What if someone is not sure what their priorities are? How do they figure that out?
Good question. I would suggest asking yourself what you want your life to look like in 1 year or 5 years. What kind of experiences do you want? What will make you feel fulfilled?
So you connect the decision to your bigger goals and values, not just the immediate situation.
Exactly. When you see how the decision fits into your larger life vision, it becomes easier to know what the right choice is.
This first strategy of setting clear criteria really helps remove emotional confusion. It gives you a framework to evaluate options logically.
Yes, and it makes you an active decision maker instead of a passive one. You are choosing based on what you want, not just reacting to what is in front of you.
Now let us talk about this second strategy. What is the next important step for making better decisions?
The second strategy is to set a deadline for making the decision. When you give yourself unlimited time, you tend to overthink and gather too much information. A deadline forces you to move forward.
So a deadline creates healthy pressure that stops you from getting stuck in analysis paralysis.
Exactly. Analysis paralysis happens when you keep researching and comparing forever without ever reaching a conclusion. A deadline prevents this trap.
How does someone choose the right deadline? Should it be very short or can it be longer?
It depends on the importance of the decision. For small decisions, like choosing a restaurant or buying a simple product, give yourself just a few minutes or hours. For bigger decisions, like changing careers, you might need days or weeks.
So the deadline should match the size and impact of the decision.
Yes, but even for big decisions, do not give yourself months. Most of the time, more time does not lead to better decisions. It just leads to more overthinking.
That is interesting. So after a certain point, gathering more information doesn't really help.
Exactly. Research shows that people who spend too long on decisions are not happier with their choices. They often feel more anxious and less satisfied.
Why do you think that happens?
Because the longer you think, the more doubts you create. You start imagining problems that might not even exist. Your mind generates endless what-if scenarios that increase stress.
So setting a deadline actually protects you from your own overthinking.
Yes, it does. And once the deadline arrives, you commit to the decision and move on. You do not allow yourself to keep reopening the question.
What if new information comes up after the deadline? Should someone reconsider the decision?
Only if the new information is truly significant and changes the fundamental situation. But most of the time, new information is just minor details that do not really matter. Trust your original decision.
So the key is to commit once you decide and resist the urge to keep second-guessing.
Exactly. Commitment is powerful. When you fully commit to a decision, you stop wasting mental energy on doubt and start putting that energy into making the decision work.
This second strategy of setting a deadline is very practical. It helps people take action instead of staying stuck in indecision.
Yes, and it builds decision-making confidence over time. The more you practice making timely decisions, the easier it becomes.
Now, let us discuss the third strategy. What is the final important step for making decisions without second-guessing?
The third strategy is to trust your intuition more. Many people ignore their gut feelings because they think decisions should only be logical, but intuition is actually very valuable.
What exactly is intuition? Is it just a random feeling, or is there something more to it?
Intuition is your brain processing information quickly based on your past experiences and knowledge. It is not random. It is your subconscious mind recognizing patterns and giving you guidance.
So when you have a gut feeling about something, it is actually your brain using everything you have learned, even if you cannot explain it consciously.
Exactly. Your conscious mind can only focus on a few things at once, but your subconscious processes much more information. Intuition is the result of that deeper processing.
That is fascinating. So ignoring intuition means ignoring a valuable source of information.
Yes, especially for people who have experience in a certain area. If you've been doing something for years, your intuition in that field is usually very reliable.
How can someone tell the difference between real intuition and just fear or anxiety?
Great question. Fear usually feels tight and constrictive in your body. It makes you want to avoid or run away. Intuition feels more like quiet clarity or a gentle knowing. It guides you towards something rather than away from it.
So intuition feels calm even when it is warning you, while fear feels agitated and panicky.
Exactly. Intuition is grounded and centered. Fear is scattered and reactive. Learning to recognize this difference takes practice, but it is very helpful.
What if someone has ignored their intuition for a long time? Can they rebuild that connection?
Absolutely. You rebuild it by paying attention to your feelings and then checking the results. Start with small decisions. Notice what your gut tells you, make the choice, and see what happens.
So you create a feedback loop. You listen to intuition, take action, and learn whether it was accurate.
Yes, and over time you learn to trust it more. You see that intuition often points you in the right direction, especially when combined with logical thinking.
So the best decisions come from combining both intuition and logic, not choosing one over the other.
Exactly. Use logic to gather information and analyze options. Use intuition to sense what feels right and aligned with your values. Together, they create powerful decision-making.
This third strategy of trusting intuition adds a very important dimension. It helps people access their inner wisdom instead of only relying on external information.
Yes, and it makes decisions feel more authentic. When you honor both your mind and your intuition, you feel more confident and at peace with your choices.
Now, Priya, let us talk about what happens after someone makes a decision. How can they prevent second-guessing from creeping in later?
That is a crucial point. After making a decision, you need to practice self-compassion and acceptance. Remind yourself that you made the best choice you could with the information you had at that moment.
So you do not judge yourself harshly if things do not turn out perfectly.
Exactly. Every decision is a learning experience. Even if the outcome is not what you hoped for, you gain valuable insights that help you make better decisions in the future.
That takes away the pressure of needing to be right all the time.
Yes, and it helps you see decisions as part of a journey rather than isolated events. You are constantly learning and growing. No single decision defines you.
What about when other people question your decision? How do you stay confident when others express doubt?
Remember that other people do not have access to all your inner thoughts, values, and priorities. They're judging from the outside with incomplete information. Trust that you know your situation better than anyone else.
So it is important to be polite but firm in staying committed to your choice.
Exactly. You can listen to feedback if it's helpful, but do not let other people's doubts become your own. You are the expert on your own life.
That is empowering. It puts the authority back in your own hands.
Yes, and it reduces the tendency to seek constant validation from others. You learn to validate your own decisions internally.
What role does reflection play after making a decision? Should people review their choices regularly?
Reflection is useful, but it should be constructive, not judgmental. Instead of asking, did I make the right choice? Ask, what am I learning from this experience?
So you focus on growth and insight rather than right or wrong.
Exactly. This mindset helps you extract value from every decision, regardless of the outcome. You become wiser and more confident over time.
Let me ask you something practical. What should someone do if they realize they made a poor decision? How do they handle that without falling into regret?
First, acknowledge the situation honestly without self-blame. Say, this did not work out as planned. What can I do now? Shift your focus to solutions and next steps rather than dwelling on the past.
So you stay forward-looking instead of backward-looking.
Yes, and remember that most decisions can be adjusted or reversed if needed. Very few choices are completely permanent. You have more flexibility than you think.
That is reassuring. It means mistakes are not catastrophic. They are just part of the learning process.
Exactly. And often what seems like a mistake at first turns out to teach you something valuable or lead you somewhere unexpected and positive.
So maintaining that open, curious attitude helps you navigate the uncertainty of decision-making.
Yes, curiosity replaces fear. Instead of being afraid of wrong choices, you become curious about what each choice will teach you.
I really like that perspective. It makes decision-making feel less heavy and more like an adventure.
Exactly. Life is full of choices, and each one is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself and the world.
Let us now talk about how these strategies work together. How do they create a complete system for better decision-making?
These strategies support each other beautifully. Setting clear criteria gives you direction. Setting a deadline gives you momentum. And trusting your intuition gives you confidence. Together, they create a balanced approach.
So you are not relying on just one method. You are using multiple tools that work together.
Exactly. The criteria help your logical mind. The deadline prevents overthinking, and the intuition connects you to your deeper wisdom. This combination covers all aspects of good decision-making.
And when you use all three, you are less likely to fall into common traps like analysis paralysis or impulsive choices.
Yes, you find the middle path between overthinking and underthinking. You make thoughtful but timely decisions that feel right both logically and emotionally.
What would you say to someone who is listening right now and feels overwhelmed by an important decision they are facing?
I would say take a deep breath and trust yourself. You have more wisdom than you realize. Start by clarifying what really matters to you. Write down your top 3 priorities for this decision.
So begin with that first strategy of setting criteria.
Yes, and then give yourself a reasonable deadline, maybe 3 days or 1 week depending on the decision.
During that time, gather the information you need, but don't obsess over it.
And check in with your intuition along the way.
Exactly. Notice how each option makes you feel. Does one choice create a sense of lightness or expansion? Does another create heaviness or contraction? Pay attention to these signals.
And then, when the deadline comes, make the choice and commit to it fully.
Yes. And after you decide, focus your energy on making it work rather than questioning whether it was right. Action and commitment create success more than perfect choices do.
That is such valuable advice. The decision itself matters less than what you do with it afterward.
Exactly. Most decisions can lead to good outcomes if you commit to them and work with what comes. Success is more about your response than the initial choice.
So, the real power is not in making perfect decisions, but in moving forward with confidence and adaptability.
Yes, confidence and adaptability are the true keys. They allow you to navigate whatever happens with grace and effectiveness.
Let us quickly review the 3 main strategies we discussed today. The first strategy is to set clear decision criteria. Know what matters most to you before you start evaluating options.
The second strategy is to set a deadline for making the decision. This prevents overthinking and helps you take timely action instead of getting stuck in analysis paralysis.
And the third strategy is to trust your intuition. Combine logical thinking with your inner wisdom to make decisions that feel both smart and authentic.
These 3 strategies together help you make better decisions without second guessing. They build confidence and reduce the mental exhaustion that comes from constant doubt.
Remember, no decision needs to be perfect. The goal is to make good enough choices based on your values and then commit to making them work.
And every decision teaches you something valuable. Approach choices with curiosity rather than fear, and you will grow stronger and wiser over time.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope these strategies help you make decisions with more confidence and less stress.
Yes, thank you for being here with us today. Your time and attention mean a lot to us.
Before we go, we want to invite you to check out other episodes on the Easy English Talk podcast channel. We have many helpful topics that support your learning and personal growth.
Yes, please explore our other episodes. Each one is created to help you improve your English and develop valuable life skills in a clear and simple way.
Take care, everyone, and we will see you in the next episode. Keep making decisions with confidence and trust yourself.
Goodbye for now. We wish you clarity, confidence, and peace in all your choices.